Welcome to Backpage Blues. I'm joined by Charlie the Hurricane Skillen.
How are you, mate?
Very well, how are you?
Wonderful.
From the Mail Online, I forgot to say the second bit. That's why I threw him. It threw him, he didn't know how to react, sorry.
I think they know by now.
The Hurricane Skillen from the Mail Online.
It's been like 3 years.
Sorry, do you know why I missed that? Because I'm like desperate to get on to Romelu Lukaku signing for Chelsea.
Yes.
Is it, are we?
I think Chelsea are the front runners of the game, certainly. We all know he's not going to be at Everton. You know, everything out of Everton's, he's signing a new deal. He's signing a new 5-year deal. They kept saying that for about 10 months.
He doesn't care, does he?
No,
he just like goes straight in.
I mean, look, he in his opening press conference at Everton, he sort of reeled off a list of players who joined Everton and then moved to better clubs. So that was kind of, that was always his move. And we got a couple of Everton fans in the office who get very upset when he mentions things like that. But,
how are they? Because what I was surprised about, obviously, he had another good game on the weekend.
Yeah.
Their fans were chanting his name, singing for him. I thought that he might be booed.
Well, I think it's more his attitude is that of a winner, and that's kind of what Everton aspire to be.
Yeah.
Everton's a great historical club, and they have a history of winning. I mean, maybe not in the last 25 years, but they've won a lot. They have an awful lot of
league titles, but a lot of them are pre-war as well.
They do, and
is that right?
But it's more it's more the kind of thing that's engulfed Everton is this exceptions of mediocrity, and Lukaku obviously wants to better that.
Yeah.
But he is a Champions League player. He is certainly one of the best strikers in the Premier League. He's probably one of the best strikers in Europe. Everton's just on at that level. And
have they won a trophy since Paul Rideout?
No, they haven't. 1995.
95.
FA Cup.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a long time, and they can't. They can tell themselves to their blue in the face, literally. That they're among the top echelon clubs, but the record just doesn't substantiate that.
I think the new investment that they've got, though, I think that some Evertonians may have seen that as a moment.
Yeah, but every team's got new investment. It's one billionaire's team against another, isn't it? And Everton just can't offer him the level of football where frankly he needs to be, or at least thinks he deserves to be. He's last summer he was signed up to Mino Raiola, who's Pogba, Ibrahimovic's agent, Mkhitaryan's agent, well known for getting his clients the absolute best. Everton, for a player of his level, as sad as it is to say, is not his absolute best. Now, obviously, the first thing that sets in motion is where he's going to go. Chelsea, obviously we've seen him at Stamford Bridge before, but Chelsea have a long-standing interest in taking him. In fact, they'd snap him up like that. For it's going to cost about 60 million quid, but if everything's right, Chelsea would jump at the chance to sign him.
It's a move I support.
Really?
I've kind of gone full circle on this. I had my reservations about Lukaku, but he's proved me wrong this season. He's just been incredible. And do you know what I thought was really telling about him? I think we all know that he's got a great eye for a goal, and his hold-up play, and he's strong, and if he gets you on the left side, he's very quick, powerful, shoot across the keeper very well. Everton scored a goal the other day, and he did like a little dinked pass straight over the defender. That's clever. That's the kind of player that sets you apart.
That sort of technical ability is what some of his critics say is lacking.
Exactly.
I can definitely see the positives. I mean, one thing you can't argue with is the sheer number of Premier League goals he scored. He's already Everton's record scorer in the Premier League.
Is he?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. He beat Duncan Ferguson the other day.
Right.
So, if you look at the games he's played at his age and the number of goals he's scored before a certain age, I mean, he's right up there with people that that fans in general consider Premier League legends, Robbie Fowler, Michael Owen, people like that.
Well, also he raced to 50 goals. He absolutely raced. I think he got to 50 goals in 100 games. Like really, really rapid.
So look, you cannot argue with that. I don't know. I've still got a slight bugbear about his overall quality. I think it might be one of those where yes, he is too good for Everton, and he probably fit in well at Chelsea now. But is he the absolute top level Champions League semi-final striker?
Yes.
I'm not so sure, but I'd welcome seeing him back at Chelsea, and I think it'd be a really interesting move.
Would that spell the end for Diego Costa?
No, I don't think it would. And in fact, Chelsea sort of went on. Well, I was going to say on record, but went off record. The fact that any Lukaku deal would not have any impact on Costa's future, at least not directly. We know that there's going to be a constant speculation over Costa at Chelsea and the Chinese move and the stuff that's going on behind the scenes. I still want Costa at Chelsea next year, and I think that clubs challenging on 4 different fronts, which is what we hope to be doing in the latter stages of next season. They've got to have 2 top level strikers.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful option to have, isn't it? Imagine those 2 playing up front together. That's a defender's nightmare.
Frightening. I probably wouldn't turn up.
Yeah,
if I was centre half,
you wouldn't fancy it, would you?
Yeah, no.
Chris Smalling would be terrified.
Yeah.
Not good.
But and I think another option for Costa is something we've really been lacking. Probably shouldn't be lacking because we paid 32 million for Michy Batshuayi. But it's for me it's clear that Conte doesn't rate him.
Yeah. Speaking of Conte, he's going to get a new deal.
He will get a new deal, certainly. Look, he's surpassed every expectation possible in his first season at Chelsea. Everyone knows that. It was looking on rocky ground, obviously at the start of the season, the consecutive loss to Liverpool and Arsenal. But since that winning streak,
unbelievable.
The way he's galvanised the club after such a make no bones about it. Last season was Chelsea's worst season for like 30 years, certainly 25 years, and the way he's completely changed that around to the fact where, like me and you were looking at the fixture list and working out where we're going to win the league and where would be the best night out.
Yeah, I know. It's such a spoiled conversation. We're in a WhatsApp group with a load of Chelsea fans, and there's this thread that's been started on there where people are going, "Oh, I really hope that we don't win it against Southampton on a Tuesday night."
Yeah, it'd be rubbish. I've got work to say.
He's spoiled us, hasn't he, Conte?
Yeah, but it's actually fantastic, and look, he certainly deserves that reward. Now, interestingly, quite apart from the sort of length of contracts and the money issue, obviously he will get a pay rise, is that he will have more say in terms of the overall recruitment and the overall running of the club. We all know that when Chelsea sign a new manager, they're a head coach, and there is an existing framework led by people like Michael Emenalo, who really deal with youth and transfers and recruitment and all that sort of stuff. Conte will have more say in that. He was pretty unhappy in January when Oscar, Mikel and Ivanovic were all sold with no kind of direct replacements.
Sorry, I'm just having a moment.
You're laughing at me.
You're laughing at you. I'm laughing at Sophie sounding like a horse behind a camera. No eating in the studio. Ridiculous.
I know.
Actually ridiculous.
Guzzling down Big Mac.
I heard her lock her phone. I heard her snuffling away in the trough.
Yeah.
Mate,
silent.
Outrageous. I heard it lock. I'm sure you did as well.
Guzzling down Big Mac and chips while we're trying to.
Outrageous.
While we're trying to film.
Anyway, back on track while we can. Conte's going to get a new deal. That's pretty much.
That's
pretty much in the bag.
But
Nathan Ake could be on the move.
He could be. Look, interestingly, one of the things Conte was unhappy about, the club told him, well, look, you've got Ake, Masonda and Kennedy back. Those are your new players, and he doesn't really consider any of them first-team players.
Well, not when you think about who left the club.
No, exactly. Those players probably had 500 Premier League appearances between them.
Well, Mikel.
A lot more.
A
lot more. Ake is an interesting one because he is a very decent Premier League player, as was shown at Bournemouth and Watford last season. So he cannot be a Chelsea youth player. He has to be in and around the first team squad, which he hasn't.
He is though.
Is he though? He played in the FA Cup, but you don't often see him on the bench. He has to have game time.
Yeah.
I think bringing him back has been a little bit of a disappointment.
And he could be leaving.
Yeah, well, Bournemouth are mad keen to take him on. They want to pay about 18.
They won't be the only side that are after him.
No, they're not. They're not. But he knows the plays. They're desperate for him, as opposed to him being a sort of second option for one or two other clubs. And they want to pay about 18-20 million for him. So it might be a deal.
It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
Not money for a fullback.
Yeah.
Although he's not just a fullback.
Ideal world. I want to see him stay. I think he's versatile. He's basically a homegrown player. And when I've had a couple of beers, I sort of think he's Ruud Gullit, swanning about with dreadlocks in a very sort of dignified manner on the pitch. But I do think that he'd probably leave Chelsea in the summer.
Oh, that's a shame. Anyone going to come in to replace?
Well, you'll certainly see Christensen in. I think probably starting next year, Christensen, and I think the club will be really, really keen to show the loan system works. In that way, there will certainly be at least one other top-class defender coming in. You'll certainly see a midfielder coming in.
The lad from Galatasaray has been mentioned.
Oh yeah, well he's a keeper, Muslera. Now someone else will certainly be leaving is Asmir Begovic. He tried to leave in January. He really, really tried to leave in January, which was fair enough because he's not going to get the game time he wants. Chelsea really tried to allow him to leave by buying Craig Gordon from Celtic. That didn't happen. Gordon's got a new contract now, and so they're looking at replacements. And Galatasaray's Muslera is top of that list. So you'd expect to see him come in, but obviously not as a first choice.
No. Come into when necessary.
Yeah, look, I don't want to see this, but I think Chelsea could find themselves in a situation where they have to buy two top-class keepers. in the event that Real Madrid go in hard for Thibaut Courtois.
We'll talk about that next week, so make sure that you tune in to find out could Thibaut Courtois be leaving. Thank you very much for watching this video. Comment below, do you agree? And if you haven't subscribed, do it right now.
Can't Chelsea.
Oh yes.